your time.
Here. One, I had 3 research questions. How we are going to prevent children being institutionalized, and how we are going to address their human rights during their institutionalization, and how we are going to advocate for their well-being after reintegration. Yes, your question is indicators. Yes, so therefore I will be mainly I approach service providers and the policymakers to find the human rights aspects of the institutionalized children. So the indicators will be the answers which they provided. The main question during my interview sessions was what are their suggestions to improve the life chances of children in institutional care, life chances. So, I will use the content analysis basis to analyze my questions, and for these questions, the major response was the reintegration factor. Thank you. Yes, I am. No. It is. Yeah. So I was not allowed to interview or get questionnaires reached to the children, but instead I approached police service providers and policymakers. So thereby, and actually I used to be a practitioner in this field. I was a manager for a children's home, which I pioneered in Kurunegala, which I am still running. So I am allowed to use the data from my own children's home, but not the others. So to approach all the other 416 children's homes, I use questionnaire approach to all the children's homes, as well as I interviewed policymakers. Policymakers in the country, you know that there are 9 commissioners in each province who are the head for the Department of Probation and Child Care Services. So I could approach all these 9 commissioners and interview them in depth regarding the life chances of children in institutional care, and then I approached 30 managers who are the service providers for these children's homes. And actually, so my research is mainly based on a qualitative approach. But the quantitative data I will use to support my qualitative findings. And even in the questionnaires, I have mostly used open-ended questions, which are mostly qualitative, because since the survey was a field approach, I could approach each and every ward of matron. And you could have seen the response rate from the ward and matrons was quite low, 24%. The reason could have been the particular questions that I had asked them. One of which was regarding their salary, particularly whether they are being paid the EPF and EDF and so on and so forth. So the managers may not have allowed them to respond to my questions, but the 24%, 28%, I have got the answer. So that is quite a good response rate. Because no. You mean have I? This no. It's a qualitative approach. So the main thing was it is going to be more towards exploratory, since I use the method of participation action research. since I did not have enough information for my research subjects, which are the children in children's home, that's the exact reason why I use this part-based action research method, which is more towards exploratory system. By approaching the service providers and the policymakers, I could explore more about these children because they were willing to talk about their life chances in every aspect and how their life chances should. I think you understand what life chances. Life chances are the opportunities that each individual have to improve their quality of life. So quality of life, of course, is related to human rights aspects. And again, I use there is the policy guideline, UN guidelines for the enhanced UN guidelines for the alternative care of children. So I use this. I'm using this guideline to evaluate my findings. And the DPCS stands for Department of Professional Child Care Services, and they have a standardization method to measure the service standards of the children's home. I am using these guidelines to measure the quality of life of these children. Family-based strategies. Definitely. That's a good question. Institutional care, so even in the UN guidelines, institutional care should be temporary, or it should be used as a temporary measure. It shouldn't be. Institutional care itself is a violation of human rights. But in the Sri Lankan context, mostly the institutional care environments are dormitory. So over 100 or 200, and when I visited northern and eastern provinces, it was very usual to have open age of 300 children. So now SOS villages, you may have heard, there are 6, I suppose, in Sri Lanka. They use family where there is a mother to look after 8, 10 children, and it's kind of a family environment, and still we can find boys and girls in the same house, which is in fact, and they grow up to age 12 or 13 in the same premise, but they have been separated upstairs and downstairs and so on, because it's a sex. And after the age of 14, they are moved, they are separated. Could be in the same premises, they have different domain settings. But those strategies are heavily researched in my research, and the suggestions will be based upon my findings.
Can you give your findings within few sentences? At least couple of sentences?
Yes, thank you. My findings. So far, I have found in a definite manner that in most of the institutional care environments, the children's rights and their needs have not been properly addressed. And
Not properly
addressed. And in addition to few extreme cases, so most of the children's homes are private governed institutions. 92%, only 8% of the children in institutional care are sponsored by the government section. and I have referred two major reports: home truth and out of sight and out of care, and as secondary data, and even in those reports, they have emphasized that, especially the government sector homes, there are no guidelines even to manage children homes. But they have proposed a guideline to manage the voluntary children's homes, but the government sector, they don't even have a guideline to manage their homes.
Any questions? You are happy with the answers, isn't it? You are informed.
Yes. Thank you for that very good question. UN guidelines emphasizes that family-based strategies should be implemented. So, in many countries, as I discussed during my presentation also, foster care and relative care is mostly considered, but not adoption care. When it comes to adoption care, there are so many problems that have been encountered in both local and foreign adoption. But when it comes to now, in the Australian countries, there are no children homes. They use mainly the foster care system. But they are still in a dire situation to find more and more foster care families. So in the Sri Lankan countries, what could be the, so I shouldn't be telling this until I have finished my thesis, but still they should mainly consider the children, sending them to their natural birth environment. It could not be under their parents. You see now, mostly the children, over 60% of the children in institutional care are due to poverty. Due to poverty, not because they do not have parents. Over 70% of the children, they have both parents or single parents. So even if we cannot send them back to their natural parents, but we can still find extended family environments. In my institution itself, I use 200,000 rupees per month to nurture 20 girls with the facilities and paying the salaries and so on and so forth. So when you divide this 20 by 200,000, so one children is allocated 10,000 rupees per month. So why cannot we support the families with 5,000 or 8,000 rupees to nurture them within their natural environment, so that then they want in the Sri Lankan countries, institutional care becomes long-term care. That fades away the family bond, and children find the institutional care much better than their family care, because they are given the basic, the supplies, basically they cannot see the domestic violence and so on and so forth. So better